Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we have the delete, we have these guys. Now, before we actually start saving this information, I want us to have at least these ones working, then we can deal with the drag and drop a bit later. Now, also, you can increase the font size of these guys using Bootstrap, or you can actually just type in the font because these things are determined by font size. So if I come to, this is coursesview.php, right at the bottom here. And if I, let's see this trash can, this delete. So I can just add a style here if I want. So I can say style is equal to, and then put font size, and then put something like maybe 25 pixels. And if I now refresh my page, you see that the thingy is quite big now. So I can do exactly the same thing here. Now, if you don't like using styles like this and you want to use Bootstrap, you can just put inside these classes, just after the class here. Font size for Bootstrap is FS and then dash. Then there's 1 up to 6. So 1 is like the biggest. So if I put FS1 here, that's a quite huge font size. So maybe 3 will do. Let's see how that will look. Maybe 4 actually. So with that, we can do the same for all of these. I'll just do FS4. What else? The move thingy as well. Let's just put FS4. This should be F, not G. All right, let's get back here and refresh. Okay, so not exactly what I wanted. I want them to still be side to side. So maybe what I can do is say design here, right? I can put dflex, so display flex. That way they are side to side. Okay, they're forced to be there. All right, great. At least these guys are big enough now. So you can put actual font size values or use what I've done here. That's up to you. Okay, so now that we have this, let's make these up and down actually work as well. Now there's a function called in JavaScript, it's called insert before. So insert before takes 2 params. When I use this, sometimes it confuses me, so just do some tests and see what's happening. So let's try the easiest one is move up. Move down requires a few extra steps, but let's try move up, shall we? So what insert before does is that it will insert an item before another item, right? So if I grab, let's say I grab this button and tell it to insert before this one, it will move this button into this thing and then put it before, which is above it, right? So this item, if I want to move this over there, I can move it in here and put it before this one. That's why it's insert before. Now, so I can grab any item really. Let's see if, doesn't matter, you know, I can grab this button or this or that and insert it before there. It will still work. Now, if the item is within, it's a sibling of the same item, they'll just swap places. That's what will happen if they're in the same container. So all we need to do now is grab an item from the same container and insert it before another one. So if I want to move this above this, I'll tell it to insert this one before this one. So I just need to grab these 2 items and that's it. So imagine I'm moving up. If I click up now, all I need to do is grab the previous sibling and then insert the same item I've grabbed before that sibling. So there's a thing called next sibling, but I keep forgetting. If I type JS next sibling, right? There's also next, instead of just next sibling, there is next element sibling. Now I'm not sure if element comes first or sibling comes late. I'm not sure. Yeah, my internet is from the 80s, so it doesn't give suggestions here. I have to press while it's loading. I can do my thing. Let's code it and see if it works. So the thing we need to do is wherever we click, we need to grab that item. So we already know how to grab that item because it's e.current_target. Okay, good. So we have e.current_target, which is, let's name them appropriately, right? So that when we are trying to fix a problem in future, it's easy to know. So we'll call this one to move is equal to, this is what we are moving, and then var, we'll call this one move to, the one we are moving to, right? So this one is the current target, but the previous sibling. Oh, looky there, it has a suggestion. Previous element sibling, that's the one I was looking for. You can use previous sibling, but the problem is if there are any break tags, it's going to grab those instead. So it's better to not really break tags. There are invisible characters which it will grab. But if you say element, it will make sure it's an actual element. So let's use that. So e.current_target.previous element sibling. Great. Which is like the next element before that one. So which means it's the next one. So we are moving to that. And then we just need to do a move. What is it called? Yeah, now in order to tell it how to move, we have to do the moving on the parent. So we just tell this parent, insert before. Oh, wait a minute. Am I right? Wait a minute. Yes, because I'm inserting into, so I have to insert into the container that contains all of them. Because if I'm trying to move this into here, because I'm moving it next to this one, but I'm moving it still inside this container. So insert before still needs to grab the main container. Whatever you use will be the one that the thing will go into. So we want it to go and be one of the siblings here. So it has to move into the container. So let's grab the actual container, which is parent node. So just type var container so that we are nice and clean. e.target.parent node. So now we have everything. We have the container where the thing is going. We have the thing we want to move. We have the thing we want to move it above the other. So great, everything looks good. So now we can say container dot, this function is called insert before. There's no insert after, actually. Well, look at that. Proved me wrong, right? Maybe there is an insert after. Let's try insert before. Okay. So here what we'll do is we'll say container.insert before, and I don't remember the syntax. So you may be asking, how did I know this exists? Well, Google search. So Google is your friend. Always Google the things you don't understand. So here I just want to search for JS insert before, and let's load that. My internet completely failed to load. Oh, great. Okay, so always go to the developer Mozilla network here. This is because these are the people that determine these things, and so they have very good documentation. So insert before, a method of the node interface. So node, as you can see, represents elements. So that's why we say dot parent node when we want to grab the parent node. Okay, so look at the syntax. How does it work? We say insert before, we say new node, and the reference node. So we start with a new node, the one that we want to insert, and the one we are using as a reference to insert before. Great. Then they give you examples here, so you can all see what's going on. There's a parent div. They grab that parent div, and then they use the parent div and say insert before the new node and where to insert. So exactly what we're going to do. So insert before, let's grab the new node, the one we are moving, and where we are moving it to, that's move to. Simple as that. So let's see if that actually works. So refresh, and let's try now. I think it's working, but I can't see it. So let's try and add some text. So I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one with text is here. Let's see if we can move it up. And look at that. it went up. Very cool. If I grab this one, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It went to the bottom. So very cool. Yeah. Now, let's do the other one. Let me see if there's actually insert after. Though I doubt it, because I have tried. Yeah, look at that. Element after. Inserts a set of node or a string object in the children list. Oh, wait, look at that. There's actually one. How to insert an element. Insert after. Element.after. Insert a set of node or string objects in the children list of the... Okay. What's the syntax then? Wait a minute. Node. Okay. Let's see. It says p create and then insert dot after. Create element span insert after. I don't think this is the one I'm looking for. Why don't work function in JavaScript? Okay. No, actually there is no insert after. So let's be creative. Okay. If we have insert before, let's look at this from a logical standpoint. I think maybe there was no need for it to be there. I have no idea why they didn't add it. But wait, this tutorial here claiming that insert after actually works. Okay, if it does, let's do this. Let's grab this and let's put this down here. Let's see if it works, you know, instead of just reading text, we learn by doing. So this never changes. What we are moving and move to. Now, instead of previous, we get the next sibling. Okay, and then we can do exactly the same. Now, instead of insert before, let's try insert after. If it works, then good, right? So let me write something here and then let's move down. So it didn't work, just like I thought. Let's inspect the element. Let's go to the console. It says insert after is not a function. Okay, so nothing like this, right? Okay, so let's undo and say insert before. Now let's think about it in a logical manner here. Let's go back here. Let's think like a machine. So if you want to move an item, so let's type something here. And all I can do is insert after a thing, right? So if I click down and I want this thing to go down, I have to insert it after another item, which means this item right here. Okay, so instead of grabbing this one as the next item, I should grab the next item again and then insert before it. Then this thing will move here. Because if I try to insert before this one, it's already before it. So nothing will change here. As you will see, if I save it like this and try this, you will notice that nothing happens. It doesn't move. And we probably won't see an error in here whatsoever. Yeah. But because it's actually working, but it's inserting right next to this one. So unless we say dot next sibling dot next sibling, like that. So we grab the sibling after. So let's try that. So click, and let's see if that works. Boom, it worked. But what happens here when there's no next? Let's try again. Boom, it still works. Looky there. What about now? Nothing. Okay. Let's move it all the way to the top. Look at that. It went all the way around. Look at that. Very nice. Now, the reason why it goes all the way around when we are clicking up like this is because if you're putting no here, let's say previous sibling does not exist when you are right at the top. So the result will be a no. So if we put a no like this, empty, right? If we do that, it will insert to the end of the thing. It will insert it as the last item. That's how you insert. That's how you take an item to the end. If you had a button here that says take to the end, that's what you would do. You just put no where there is insert before, and then it will be pushed to the end. So you may like this functionality where it goes right to the end, or you may not like it. If you don't like it, you can just do and say if move to. You can put an if statement and say if not move to. Okay. Oh wait, if move to, and then run this. So you only run it if move to is a thing. So which means when we get to the top, we can't go any higher. So let me show you this. I'll do that, and then let's move forward, but we can't move any higher, as you can see, and we don't actually get any errors over here. So, but if you want it to wrap around and go to the bottom, just remove this if statement. All right, so I think our move up is okay. Now, the drag and drop will work exactly like this. Just like the way we are doing here, this is exactly how the drag and drop will work. The only difference is that when we click to drag this around like this, we will select this as the item to move, right? And then once we select this as the to move, then as we move around like this, we are hovering on these items, right? So there's an event called drag over, I think, or something. So when I drag the item over an item, then I can record what item I'm dragging it over. And then when I let go, which is drop, that's the drop event. When I let go, whatever last item I dragged over is the one we're going to insert before. So I hope that makes sense. So it's pretty much the same code that we're going to use here, only that we'll have different events that we'll be responding to. But the drag and drop is not so serious, so we can leave it be for now. Maybe we can go to the practical purpose of this thing. And let me show you how the same code can be used to create another section down here, which instead of what would the students, we can have a second section here by repeating the same code. All right, so let's do that in the next video.